dear Dr. Greg Tully, Dr. Ann Johns, and all the distinguished attendees. It is my honor to make this video presentation at the invitation of Dr. Johns and Dr. Tully. I offer my appreciation to the Symposium Planning Committee for organizing this annual international symposium. This opens up the possibility for wonderful and inspirational connections among the global group work community. Unfortunately, I am not able to join you directly. At the outset, let me acknowledge and appreciate the organizers for accommodating me through this video presentation. I am going to present about self-help groups that has become instrumental in giving the voice to the disadvantaged people in India. While talking about the practice of social group work and the self-help groups in India, I will be presenting before you a very brief socio-economic background and the cultural context of India. On the world map, India looks very tiny. However, India is massive and extravagant. It is the country with unique and amazing amalgamation of diverse topography and environment, cultures and religions, communities and languages. It is the second most populous country in the world. Every fifth person in the world is Indian. India is seventh largest in the world with geographical area of 3.3 million square kilometers. The cultural and social context of India, the lifestyle of people, is more of community and group oriented rather than individualistic. People live in joint families. Group feeling and mutual cooperation is very evident among people. There is a strong sense of belongingness and we feeling interdependence on each other. Economic condition of India, the cultural context and the ground realities of Indian context leaves great scope for groups and community work. The Indians lives in groups. The community life is the core of Indian lifestyle. Everything we usually say, everything happens in community except honeymoon. We can see that the cultural and the social life, the people live in joint families. Group feeling and mutual cooperation is very evident among people. There is a strong sense of belongingness and we feeling interdependence on each other for physical and psychological needs. This leaves a great scope for effective practice of social group work. For the social work interventions in India, the issues and challenges are also community oriented rather than individual oriented. The challenges are like poverty and unemployment. India is lagging behind. And this statistic we can find, this is the World Bank statistic, we can find this on internet. Health and malnutrition is another issue where India again lagging behind. India's contribution to the underfed burden, children under 5 years of age. This is self-explanatory. Again on the global hunger index, India is lagging behind. The issue of sanitation, the issue of education, the issues concerning discrimination and atrocities based on caste and gender. These are all the issues which are more of community oriented rather than individual. Self-help groups prove to be very effective strategies to deal with these various issues. The development organizations in India largely follow the strategy of self-help groups. Even the government has adopted the strategy of working through self-help groups. The statistics of self-help groups speaks about, this is just a statistic of the self-help groups formed and operated through NABARD. This is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. We can see the statistic which says that by 2010 there were about 6.9 million self-help groups. Now these are the groups only which have taken the help from the bank, financial assistance from bank. In order to know the self-help groups in India, let's watch this brief clip of World Bank to understand the self-help groups.
In this tribal village in southern India, babies, especially female babies, are often seen as nothing but a burden. Another mouth to feed with not much return on that investment. And their mothers are among the poorest of the poor in India, illiterate, struggling to keep food in the house. To stop these mothers from abandoning, selling, or killing their girls, the local self-help group here provides money for milk and food. Cora Buji has a 10-month-old daughter, Kara, and 4 other children.
I gave the baby away and the police brought her back, and they promised to get the group to help me.
Suvi Nenawath is the mother of 6-month-old Rupa.
When my baby was born, I was thinking about giving her away, but I was stopped. A woman from the group said they would provide milk for her, 1 liter every day.
Just a few miles away, another self-help project makes small loans to female farmers, money for a daughter's marriage, a new cow, or seeds. Mangama Chetakunta borrowed 5,000 rupees to send her 7- and 8-year-old daughters to school to learn English.
And it is because I got some benefits, which helped me in my farming to make medicines.
Sitting under a neem tree, the women explain how the small loans have helped their families. Jyoti Kasareddy is also using the loan to pay for school for her girls.
From this program, I took a loan of 10,000 rupees for my children's education.
There are women's self-help groups in every village in the state, 600,000 such groups in Andhra Pradesh alone, reaching 8 million women, nearly 90% of the state's rural poor. This group provides training to 519 disabled people from 42 villages. The people here are encouraged to engage in the community, and the community is encouraged to engage with them. Bhagalakshmi Andrew's daughter, Ashwini, gets therapy to strengthen her muscles and her attention span.
With the help of the self-help group, I am able to take my daughter to hospital every month.
The goal of the self-help groups is not to just help raise women up. In the next few years, members of groups like these hope to also erase the stigma and discrimination that others, like women themselves, outside of society have felt for generations. I'm Allison Schaefer reporting.
As I mentioned, the government organizations, the voluntary organizations and all the development organizations are using the self-help groups as a strategy for development, and this is evident enough that we can understand from this clip. Now, the study of SHG shows the approaches and the models that are being used by the government and NGOs varies. It depends on the ideology of the organizations or the project. The promoters of the SHGs, they follow their own ideology, and there are different models of SHGs exist. There are 3 broad categories that we can make of these approaches and models. The first one is a minimalist model. Now this model talks about the savings and microcredit and microfinance. It talks only about financial transaction. It tells people, teaches them and educates them about the importance of savings, that puts them into the habit of regular savings. It also provides them the microfinance for their financial needs. This model is limited only for this purpose. There are large organizations are following purely these models. There is another model which is livelihood model. Now, under this model, This is basically developing the sustainable means of livelihood. It encourages people to have the sustainable means of livelihood. It encourages people for the basic training, entrepreneurship development trainings. It also provides the financial assistance from bank for the various financial institutions for initiating the entrepreneurial business for their livelihood. The third category or the third model or the approach is the social development model, which is inclusive of the above two, and along with that it talks about the community development and community action and collective action on the issues. It talks about the rights and entitlements. Now all the three models are being practiced in India. The various studies about the impact of self-help groups in India prove that the self-help groups has been very effective in bringing about change among the disadvantaged people, especially the women groups, women who are disadvantaged most in India. And the self-help groups has been very instrumental in giving voice to them. The impact is very clearly seen in terms of economic empowerment. This has also shown that the women has got the better status in the society through their work in SHGs. The SHG has given them better confidence, the decision-making power, the politically they are empowered. And this also given them psychological empowerment in terms of building their confidence. All this proves that SHGs are very effective strategies. Now, when we see that the SHGs and its linkages with the social group work practiced by social work practitioners, I would like to point out some of the very critical issues or the implication for social work practice and especially social group work practice in India. The issues are like the SHGs, all these SHGs are largely promoted by untrained personnel. The issue is when they promote these SHGs, the ideology and the ideas behind starting this is limited to the very specific purpose, and often it is the target oriented. How many groups are being formed? How many groups are being promoted? Irrespective of the qualitative change that groups bring about. Very often the specialized skills required for social group work are not recognized. India, we have not yet recognized social work as a profession, and that definitely has its implication. Anybody can do social work, and anybody can do group work, and anybody can do these practices with communities. That is what understanding among the people, and that leaves great scope for harming the people. The social work do not have the professional status, and its implication is the theoretical understanding required for group work processes are not being understood and not being followed, and that again gives the scope for harming the people. Need for exploring and establishing linkages of social group work with reciprocal model of social work is very essential. These are the few issues that I have pointed out for reflection and for the reflection before the international community thinking about social group work. There is great need for promoting the social group work in India. The group work is being understood as the special group, self-help groups. Often it is misunderstood that just forming groups is the social group work, which is not there. So therefore, there is great scope for promoting the social group work, training the social group worker, and making them available for the greater use and the greater practice with the communities in India. I hope I have done the justice to this topic with this limited time. I wish I could have responded to some of your questions, but my friend Dr. Tuli will do the needful. He will initiate the discussion and moderate the discussion with you on this little video. Thank you very much, and thank you very much Dr. Ann Johns and Dr. Tuli once again for giving me this opportunity to be with you through this video. Thank you very much.